cloud technology has been there for more than a decade now, and many new products are maybe just born in cloud, or some of these are maybe still planning to move or may have a hybrid scenarios as well. Also, often we have seen products are continuously innovating and they are leveraging many sophisticated services from cloud service providers as well. So all these requires quite deep considerations for doing it in the right way. So I think doing it right has always been important, hasn't it?
Yes, Umesh, doing it right has always been important. But with every change, you need to also adapt ways of doing it right. So if you look at cloud era, basically end users as well as the product developers take it for granted that high availability, infinite scalability. So with in the cloud era, everybody takes high availability, infinite scalability for granted, and they also want to make quick and faster enhancements to the product. And end users have started to also think that that is something which is a must-have. Now that means that you have to also define what it means to get that right. Now if we look at the history of software engineering, then you can see that in the history, the software engineering community has actually adapted the processes or adapted ways of doing it right whenever there was a new demand on the quality of the software. So I think there is a lot of learning from there which we can take forward.
Definitely, Suhas. I think you like to go back to the roots to connect the dots here. So maybe it would be good to get some more examples about how do you see the overall evolution of the software engineering in the era of cloud here.
So actually looking back and looking forward has helped me a lot in my career, so that you can get best things from the past and then apply them going forward. So I'll give you some examples of how in history software engineering community has done that. So if you look at OO technology, when OO technology came in, there was also along with that a lot of promise about creating reusable code, which means overall the product owners wanted to do it at speed because you're going to reuse components. But it turned out that it was not to be, because there were no patterns at that time. And that's when Gang of Four patterns book, which came in around 94, 95 time frame, that set the things right. And product owners, framework designers picked that up. So you saw the patterns getting into frameworks, getting into programming languages. That made it easy for developers to create more complex software in less time. Similarly, in that era, even the way in which we manage customer requirements and the way in which we deliver, how do we keep customer in touch with what is going to show up as delivered software? So the community was struggling with that in the waterfall model era. And then that process or methodology went through waterfall to iterative to spiral to JAD development methods, rapid application development methods. And here we are with cloud in terms of agile development method, where customers can see that they are getting what they want in time frames of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month, and they don't have to really wait for 6 months to 9 months. So that is another improvement that looking at the problem that the community found. The third thing we have seen is as software development teams started getting bigger and bigger, there were methods and processes and tools that came in the development part. So you had version control systems, then build tools, deployment tools, test automation tools. And all of that eventually got together in an automation which led to continuous integration and continuous deployment, CI/CD term that we sort of caused. So essentially in the cloud era now, what we have to understand is how are some of the features delivered by cloud service providers, how are they getting consumed in the applications, and note down any nuances that have got introduced in this technology compared to the earlier mechanisms, and adapt the doing it right from there. So it was always important, but it also always needed to adapt. And we have seen that happen in the history.
Very true, Suhas. This agile, faster release of products is more pushing developers to also wear operations hat.